I'm sorry. Bob, go ahead.
Bob Pock, Racine Daily for Clint. On Media Day in February, we asked you if you were a free agent, and you pretty much were like, I'm staying at RCR. When did you kind of get the feeling that you wouldn't be staying at RCR? And, what can you talk about leaving the place you've run every Cup race, 210 Cup races at?
Well, I'd say that day came when we went and talked to them about the 5-hour deal, and they still couldn't put a deal together. So I said, well, all right, we'll go somewhere else. And, that's probably what ultimately led to leaving, RCR. But, going back to, I've never been a guy that needs to be the number one guy, or second tier, anything else. I think that's what kills organizations is when you're racing within the organization. You've got to be able to pull on the rope in the same direction, and if you're not, you can't move forward. So I just, want to be able to be an asset, to help out and move forward in building this thing. I mean, that's everybody knows. We've got room to improve, and I look forward to the opportunity to try to make it happen.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Dave. Go ahead. You're closer.
David Caravella, NASCAR.com. Michael, with the pieces you've put together for next year, realistically, I mean, what do you think the organization's capable of now? I mean, does Chase become sort of the number one thing on your radar screen at this point for next year? Or?
Yeah, it was the number one thing on our radar screen when we started this year. We felt like we had built our company. We won races the last couple of years, and we had built our organization to a point where we could contend for Chase spots. Toyota really stepped up in 2011 with our engines. We've been very fortunate with the way they performed, but we just didn't get the job done. And there was a bit of a change in direction with the team around about February or March on how we were going to go forward, leaning more heavily on Andy Graves and Dave and all the good folks at Toyota to help us build our cars more competitively. So we now believe we're structured exactly how we want to be. We have a guy in Scott Miller who's going to come on board and has guided teams to the chase and chances to win championships. He is going to be a key part of our organization into 2012. And having drivers like Clint, David, and Martin, I mean, we're poised. We're on the edge of being able to go accomplish that. Our cars are solid here. Clint outrun them both, which is cool, but our cars are right up near the top of the scoring pylon, and we feel like that'll be something you'll see a whole lot in 2012, and that's based on the people that we've put together and the organization that we're building.
Yeah.
Jeff Gluck from SBNation.com. Clint, when did the 5-hour energy relationship first start with you? I mean, obviously you've had them.
3 months. Yeah.
When?
3 months ago.
Yeah, it's probably about 3 months ago. And, that was the biggest thing, going back to what led to the decision to go to Michael Waltrip. I've never been in that situation. Never had a sponsor that came to me and said, we would like to have you. We want you. You're the asset. Where are we going to go to build a program? So not only was I looking out for myself, now I'm looking out for a sponsor too. I've got to go to an organization where I can continue to build their brand and make sure that I can continue to bring that sponsor with me as I go on through the years. And so that was something that was new to me. Usually, you took care of number one and let them do their business. But I felt like I was obligated to help them make the right decision and be influential in their decision as well. So, like I said, they take care of their sponsors. Even back when they first started and wasn't making races, they kept those sponsors even today. So, if you can have that combination and get the performance right on the racetrack, you're going to have a deadly combination.
He's had his hand up like 4 times.
Hi, Randy Kovitz, Kansas City Star. A couple quick things. Michael, do we have a crew chief?
Yeah, we'll have one. No.
And that's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
We need one of those?
No, we
You
have.
guys are all about announcements.
Yeah.
We don't have that part yet.
Okay, Clint, something about black and gold, from Jack Daniels to Cheerios to this.
Yeah, well, it was a huge transition from Jack Daniels to Cheerios, as you can imagine. A lot better this time around. Yeah, I can handle this one. It was an adjustment the last time.
Well, I guess my question is, we were talking about going from nationwide to Cup. I mean, that's a huge leap in faith in Clint, and I guess in this company. Can you guys kinda talk about
So we looked around and we wanted to find a driver that fit our brand, and it had to be somebody that was passionate about our product. That's key for us because we don't want this to be false advertising or fake advertising. And, you know, we met with Clint. He's a big 5-hour supporter, consumer, and it just was a natural. It was one of those things. We met him and said this is the guy, and then we thought we'd put together a deal pretty quickly. It was kind of interesting to be walking around Charlotte with a lot of money to spend, and a lot of people didn't seem to want our money. So we finally found the right place.
How did you know he was How did you know he used 5-hour energy? How would you know that?
Because he told us, we saw him, and he clearly is very energetic. So.
And finally, one last thing. I see 5-hour energy. I see those red containers. Are you changing your color scheme? Yeah.
We got black. Actually, red, black, and the yellow oranges is part of our color scheme.
We're going to show you our car in a minute. It's beautiful.
Okay.
Nick Bromberg, Yahoo Sports. Clint, you mentioned that you took 5-hour to RCR. What were some of the stumbling blocks that you couldn't get a deal done with RCR versus getting a deal done with Michael Waltrip?
Nah, I don't know. We're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about the future, and you know, it just didn't work out. It's a shame. Like I said, you know, owed a great deal to Richard. It wasn't just a few miles down the road. I was standing in a body shop when that man called me. Never forget that day, and owe a lot to him for that, but also owe him this opportunity as well.
Sam Wilson, Emporia Gazette. Clint, if you could just talk about what it means to you to be able to have this announcement in your home state.
Yeah, it was big. You know, we were trying to talk. You know, Risa, my race fan, she's like, well, we got to announce this right now. Well, let's wait for Kansas to be big. And, you know, boy, that was miserable a few weeks having to hold you guys off. And the vultures were out wanting to know. They wanted the first story, and you guys are doing your job. But, oh, my God. It makes it to where you don't even want to come out of the motorhome, then sprint to the car and get in, put your helmet on real quick.
One thing about that is it's one thing to say we're going to do it and then get the contract done. So just so we were not trying to hide behind being coy or anything, we literally didn't get everything signed until last Sunday. We got Clint's contract last Sunday. We've got Scott and Risa's 5 hours contract last Wednesday night. So when we said we didn't have anything done, we weren't joking. So just know we weren't trying to be coy.
Reed Spencer from Sporting News. For whoever wants to take this one, is this a full season deal? Is there still inventory left on the car? And for Clint, how do you feel about driving the number 15 given the history with that car in the series?
It's a 24 race deal. There's space available. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, we have 12 races or something like that. 24 and 12, 36. Or
Yes. All day.
From Kentucky.
He did go to University of Kentucky. He said he went to a couple parties there.
I didn't enroll. But we look forward to this announcement becoming public knowledge so that we can begin the pursuit to put some more folks on the car with Clint. Obviously, you guys really have taken a liking to Clint. He does a great job telling the story. He's very energetic. I just love the way he goes about conducting himself, and hopefully that will allow us to sign up some more sponsors to fill out the car. But with we're set to run the 00 with Aaron's and the 15 with Clint and the 56 with Martin. Ty's got some more stuff he's got to sell.
Got to get back on the road.
Yeah. The 15 was just, you know, there was some options they threw out there, and I just liked the 15, you know. Obviously, I'm a racer. I want to be closer to number one than 100. You know, it was obviously good to Michael. I'm big on Daytona. That's one of my favorite racetracks, and that number was pretty good to him there. So hopefully we can get us one of these days.
Yeah, it was fun for me because the conversation with Clint about a number was a whole lot like it was with Dale back in 2000 when he hired me to drive his car. He said he had 16 on Hornaday's truck, and he said, "You want to be 16?" I said, "I don't really like 16." I said, "Didn't you win in Bud Moore's car?" He said, "Yeah, 15." I said, "I like that." He said, "Okay, we'll be 15 then." So that decision was made like that, and this one was the same way. Clint's like, 15's cool.
We almost went with 79.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing I was hung up on you know, when you put a number on a dirt car, it looks stupid if it's leaning forward. I like it leaning backwards. I had to slick that thing up a little bit. It resembled too much of the old days.
We're going to do one more, and Drew, come up here while he's asking. One more, right here. Yeah. I'm sorry.
Clint, Scott Trailer, Race Boys. Congratulations. You know, your success, you've had a lot of great success over the years, but, you know, you mentioned Casey coming on board and kind of helping you with your management team and everything now. What's that mean to have your brother and your family in your back pocket helping you along the way?
Well, I mean, you know, when this all started, it was, you know, family, and it's that way today. It's very important to me to have my family here. They're all sitting right there, and it's just the way it's always been. So even Grandma showed up, so thank you. But, you know, just like I said, another big day, another big stepping stone for myself and our family, and we'll go on down the road and have a lot more fun.
Yeah, Casey did a great job, too, working with Ty and figuring all this out. I really respected his position and how he handled himself.
We got everything done, and I said, hey, I forgot to ask you about something, Casey. I said, what about Pops? He goes, that's a whole other provision to the contract. We'll talk about that later. So anyway, can't wait. Pops, we're going to negotiate after this for motorhome spots and all that stuff. So, okay, we hate to cut it short. We are going to do one-on-ones after this, but we have an unveiling. We have to do it at 2:30 on ESPN, so we're going to head outside to do this unveiling, and then we'll do one-on-ones right after that until Clinton has to take off. Is that right, Drew? Is that right? Okay.